There we go. Silly YouTube. I need a permanent stream key for YouTube. I don't know where to find it though. So, we get the setting size. We get the settings window size. From there, the mouse position is always going to be 1080p. So, I know there's a function you can use in math to scale something within values. Math scale value between two numbers. Okay, so for him, so you have the value, in this case the x-coordinate, minus the minimum, which would be 0, divided by the maximum minus the minimum. Then you multiply that to minimum range of your measurement, maximum range of your measurement, minimum range of your desired target. Okay, so R min would be 0, R max would be 1080. No, 1920. Because 1920 is that way. Um, so we'll have the x value minus 0, because that's the minimum value you can have, divided by the maximum of 1920 minus the R min, which is 0. So it's basically whatever the x value is divided by 1920. Then you multiply that by actually no, because it's not the mouse that I want to scale. I mean, I could scale the mouse x and just use, like, this min will be 0, so I'd be multiplying it by, let's see, just check this will work with a 0. So if we have 19, or say we have 893.43. So that's one of our x positions there. If we multiply that, if we divide that, so let me bring up a better version of this. So 893.43 divided by the max, which would be, in my case, it would be, what is it? Max would be 38, because for some reason it leaves off 2 pixels on either side. So if we do that, close it off there, and then multiply that by the max of 3838, It's just going to give us the same fucking thing. Just gives us the same thing. So it doesn't work if there's a 0 involved. Um, hmm. Oh, actually, what am I doing? That was stupid of me. Um, it's 893.43 divided by 1919. Um, and then you multiply that by 3938. And that gives you the new scale. So I could scale the mouse to be within X, like within this whatever screen resolution they have selected. Um, and that would work as well if I did 893.43. We divide that by, let's say they've got 720p for some reason. So if we go divide that by a maximum of what would be 7, no, what's a 720p monitor size? 720p resolution, 1280. So it would be divided by 1278 because Godot drops off 2 pixels for some reason. So we do that, and then we multiply that. No, again, I'm doing that wrong. 893.43 divided by 1919. So that's the range of my mouse X. And if we multiply that by 1280, oops, not 1280, not 1780, 1280, or 1278 or whatever. We'll go 1280. So that scales it down to within that range. So yeah, I'll do that. Uh, Scaled mouse X is going to be a float, and that will be, what is it? It'd be the mouse pos X divided by 1919, because that's the mouse max. Now we multiply that by settings window size X. I can pop that in there. Um, Final X. Okay, let's do that. Let's see what happens. Hello, everyone. We're fixing up some rotation stuff that I broke because I removed a canvas element. Um, oof, that's certainly rotating now. Oh, I know exactly what's happening. It's rotating the player, but because the camera is now a child of the player and not a child of a canvas, it's moving the camera as well, which is not what we want. So, I wonder. We need to do some more math now. If final x is less than what? What would be the halfway point? It'd be is less than 1920 over 2, which would just be, what, 980? No, 960. Yeah, 960 is less than 960. Then I want the orthogonal camera's global position. This is going to be something that has to go into here. Um, X will be this thing by -1. So I'm just flipping it basically. Let's see if that works. I did not expect to need to do this much math for this, but oof, yuck. That will give someone seizures. So down here, we need, where's that fun stuff? All in here. So the X is the orthogonal offset. Um, and that is not the negative orthogonal offset. So I don't want it to keep like triggering every single time and freaking out. That was the x-axis, not the z-axis, so that's not going to do anything there. Um, well, that's broken. And I know why. Um, so that needs to be greater than, and the orthogonal camera needs to look at the player's global position, but not exactly the player's global position. It needs to be doing this. Because we've got to have that Y offset, otherwise the camera is going to be tilted. It's not. It looks horrible. If the code's ugly and it works, it does not matter. Let's see. Z-axis. Dang it. Let's move that back to a less than, shall we? Okay. That's progress. Um, hmm. Is the orthogonal offset already a negative? No, it's not. It's so close. Ooh, I don't know. Math is hard. I think the other issue is that I need to be doing this if it's greater than, and it doesn't already equal that. I think that's my other problem. Okay, so that's looking the correct way now. It's just rotated the wrong way. So I think I need this to be positive and this to be negative. Dang, because U needs to be positive. That's why. That's why. You can't inverse some of the values and not the others. Yes! Oh, hello. What was that? That was funky. Let's replicate that. Oh, there it goes. Does some weird stuff. Okay. What errors do we have here? Integer division. Decimal part will be discarded. Um, I forget less than or equal to. Fine tuning time now. So that's working. Oh, and that's where it breaks. I want to get this all figured out before I start doing it for this guy. I think maybe I want to put that before this. Nope. Don't want to do that. Oops. Wrong spot. Wrong spot. Hmm. I know I can reproduce it. There it goes. Um, Something very specific that I need to do here. So we look at the correct position. But for some reason, it flips things when it shouldn't flip things. It's because the offset of the orthogonal camera is wrong. I think I think I can just get rid of this check. I think that might take care of it. No, that didn't fix it at all. Ah, it's if I go too far with my mouse, it happens. Ah. Thank you very much for the follow. How are you today? I'll call you Polska, unless you want me to call you the Polska. I may be butchering that, but welcome. I'm currently fixing my rotation because, as you will see, this works. But if I go too far this way, it breaks. So, $23.56, but the final X is 437, which would be positive. So it goes into there. Right there is where it's going into there. think it's to do with this. Oh, actually, that final x should be going into the negative at some point. Like this side, I would expect it to be negative, which it is. Oh, duh. It's less than zero. I was thinking about it too much. I don't want it to do that, do I? That's just, that's not good. I think I want you to be less than, no, I want you to be greater than or equal. I want you to be less than. Maybe. Honestly, I have no idea what I'm doing when it comes to this math. So I'm just throwing values around and seeing what works. Okay, so that's just inverted that. So let's set u to negative, set u to positive. It's going to be one of these. Nope. Hmm. If anyone has any ideas, if anyone's good at math here, please let me know because I'm not. That'll always tell me which if it's going into. So I'm over here. That's correct. That's not correct. So that's positive, and it was negative. Wonder. This isn't going to work. All right. Now take a breather and think about this for a second. But how is everyone going? I'm assuming for most of you it's still Friday. Just going to adjust some sources here. Because I noticed there was no sound for that that follow just then. I just switched last night from Streamlabs to OBS Studio, so I'm still reconfiguring bits and pieces here and there. If you notice something that seems out of whack, let me know. Let's see. Overlay audio. Nope. That's going to be horrible for you. Let's remove that. There you go. My bad. We'll see what happens. Next time something comes through, hopefully we'll get proper audio going. Alright, so the issue is that when we move the mouse to the other side, everything flips. So we want the player looking at the mouse, but they're not. I think this needs to change based on the offset here. I think we're going to find out together. Okay, that's good. Now I just need those objects to stop going to the opposite side. I wonder if that can be fixed by doing that now. Nope. Hmm. So obviously if the camera is going to the opposite side, things should stay in position. Well, no, they won't because it'd be the looking from the right, the object's on the left. If you flip the camera, the object's now on the right, which is very annoying. That's basically what we're doing here. All good, lurk away. If anyone's got questions or whatnot, throw them out there. I'm happy to chat while working through this stuff. But if you just want to watch me bash my head against a wall for as long as possible, then that too. So I know that the final X is now correct. We're scaling the mouse correctly because that's always going to be a 1920p range. But because this camera is now rotating with the player, so when the player rotates the other way, I want the camera to jump on the other side. So that should leave all of the world objects, like everything else, in the exact same position. Actually, I can leave you guys. I can leave those there. That's fine because they've got to have those negatives. Huh. So perspective mode, we rotate the player. That's all fine. Face the player towards the mouse, which these values are all coming out correct now. Really need to buy a new mouse if that left mouse button's going to keep releasing randomly on me. If we're in the Z axis, then, and obviously we don't want to look at something that's at the exact same position as us because that causes errors to be reported and things. If the final x is less than or equal to 0, then we flip over to we face that way. Otherwise, if it's greater than 0, we face the opposite direction. Um, basically looking towards wherever the mouse is. On the Z axis, of course, because we're on the Z axis. These camera positions need to jump on opposite sides when the player rotates. We need to make sure that when we change the camera's position, we look at the player again. Because otherwise we're going to be looking away from the player. We'll just have nothing on our screen. And that all seems correct to me. In my head, it's correct, which obviously means it's incorrect. So the player should rotate, but that looks like it's just the camera that's rotating. Hmm. I'm gonna drive myself insane trying to figure this out. Because the reason we can no longer have it as a part of like a sub viewport container and such, which makes it a lot easier, is because we've got this mode of stretch canvas items, which would cause the camera to always display 1080p. But obviously, we don't want that because if we're on a higher or lower resolution, it just displays part of. Hmm. Having this out here just does the exact same thing, which is what it was before, and that wasn't working. So it does that where it's not even facing the correct way anymore. And if I get rid of those, actually I'll just comment them. If I get rid of those, then I have the same issue. Well, no, I have a different issue. I'm not even rotating anymore. But that has kind of solved it. But now you're not doing much of anything. You don't rotate at all. Maybe because I still had that there. Okay. So that's doing that again now. Maybe you need to be that, and you need to be that. Trial and error. Welcome back, Murdex. How are you? Thank you for coming back. You're always welcome. Just went out for ice cream and some cigarettes. Well, you're just in time because I'm banging my head against a wall when it comes to math. So. And that's good. No one should smoke or vape. As an ex-smoker, I'll tell you now, it's not good. Um, yeah, I think that's most people's case at the moment. Couldn't tell you. I would say yes. That's. I'd say yes. It is normal for people to be easily addicted to idle games because they are designed to be addictive in most cases. It's just like smoking. Never start. If it has no microtransactions, then there's really no problem. But if it has microtransactions and it's becoming a financial issue, then that could be a problem. Yep. A traditional idle game name. But it's an idle game, so you can grind while not playing. I would hope. I'm not too sure how to play idle games. Like the closest I got was playing Black Desert, but I only did that for like a couple weeks, and then I was like, all right, well this is. You can upgrade max game speed so you can play runs at 2 times speed or 3 times speed. I'm trying to get up to 3.5 times speed. And is the benefit that you just get like items and resources and stuff from runs faster so that you can build more stuff? And then you end up grinding for a 4 times speed or perhaps a 3.75 times speed. And you need to sit less time in a run. Well, I'll ask you this. Is it entertaining to you? Uh, Do they charge you money for like is there microtransactions and stuff that you're spending a lot on? That's fine. As long as it's not excessive profanity, then you're good. The occasional drop here and there is fine. Um, yeah, if it's you do you. If you're enjoying it and you're not spending, go for it. I don't see a problem with that as long as you're getting something out of it. Well, now I said excessive profanity, not excessive swear. All right, now you're pushing it, Murdox. Dropping that many profanities. So that's always facing away. Oops. I wonder if the problem is that I'm doing this wrong. And why am I doing it? Actually, what am I doing? Whip it. Go for it. That can be my next YouTube short. Oh, it's close. I can feel it. One of these has to be a negative. I think it's that one. Nope. This is doing my head in. I'm clearly doing something wrong with this math, but ah, Nice. Hmm. I'm just glad I can take the joke. I mean, sarcasm is my specialty. Hmm. I think you need to be looking at the negative. You need to be looking at the positive. But then the camera's going to flip with it. So over here, oh, what if I just always need it looking at the negative? They probably banned you for spamming. Which, I mean, if you're joking around, it's I wouldn't class that as spamming. But okay, I need the x to equal negative orthogonal offset. Let's have a look at what this does. See if this fixes everything. I doubt it will. Nope. That made things worse. I don't know how I'm going to fix this, guys. This is not looking promising. I have to figure out some other way to do this. Let's have u as the negative and u as the positive. He kind of deserved it and kind of... Okay. You have me intrigued now. Do anything. Oh my god. 'People can do what they want as long as it doesn't impact us. Like, my whole thing is you do you, I do me. Move on. Yeah, I mean, that's specific individuals. Like, Like there's people that aren't like that take things way too seriously and get offended by everything. Like in my opinion, if the worst thing that happened to you today was a game being released that had the main character as a very attractive female, if that's the worst thing that happens to you, you've got a pretty good life. If that's the worst thing that happens, I don't think there's any reason for complaining. It's a game. Move on. Actually, speaking of that, like I only recently discovered this Sobel stuff. Like Sobel shaders are so nice. So, and I was recently told by chat that um that this word, I don't know if it's with one L or two L, but chat recently told me that that is pronounced. What is it? If I can type, um, is pronounced Fresnel. That that got me a little bit. Yeah, apparently it's pronounced Fresnel. I never looked it up. I was just kind of like, that's annoying. But if you go, I say, so it should be Fresnel. But I think they were going with like I think they were going with like a French interpretation of the pronunciation because obviously, eh, I go with Fresnel. Yeah, so the name is pronounced Fresnel or Fresnel. The S is silent. Yeah. Hello. 130 minutes getting into my old account and unlinking my phone number so I could chat. What? It took that long? Um, I see that Nightbot has a problem there. I should put a space in there. But yes, this background music is the Heartbound OST. So explain like so you had an hour and a half getting into your old account and unlinking your phone number so you could chat. Is that because of a restriction I have on my chat requirements? Or was there a problem with you with like does Twitch not allow you to do something? Because this is only my set. This is what my sixth day streaming. So I still have a lot to learn about Twitch and YouTube stuff. So